I didn't get my water. Oops.
We're doing it live!
Fuck it!
No, give me the. Give me.
You
Okay.
already clicked live, Josh. We're already live.
We may have just started with fuck it. I don't know.
I have no idea. Starting soon. Okay, so that's actually not live yet.
Yes,
Why
it
is
is.
it
While
live?
everyone
It's
else
on
is
play.
watching the Heat lose tonight, we're going to be talking about E3.
Stand by. Starting soon.
And I'm probably going to get punished for saying that tomorrow. Unless they do actually lose, because then everyone in the state will be too depressed.
It says
Hey,
live in the
you-
top right. Why is it lying? Oh, and also send the public link.
Wait, aren't we live right now?
Okay, I'm just.
We don't even know if we're live. That's how we roll here.
Okay, I think it is actually live on the YouTube page now. Finally,
Share the link.
I posted it on the Twitters.
All right, good enough.
Here's the YouTube link.
Yay! Found it. Uh oh. There it goes. Yeah, we are live. We might want to do this.
Okay.
Is Nathan laughing?
Because we just suck so much.
No, this is how live shows are actually done. This is nothing unusual. And Nathan's gone.
Well, as if we weren't having enough issues.
No, see, this is like Sony's press conference where people's microphones would randomly stop working.
You know, AT&T, I'm going to kill you.
Shots fired already, but there will be more of that.
I think
Everything's
Sony.
working on my computer, and so I evidently lose internet for like 1 second. So
Welcome to VGHCast, which currently does not have a episode number, but who the hell gives a crap?
we're going off the old numbers, and we lost track. Doesn't matter. E3 episode.
Figure it out.
And I lost my lower third because, you know,
Because Google.
yeah.
I saved the preset, but it probably won't actually stay, so we'll see what happens there.
It's highly unlikely.
All right. You know, we're having a lot of trouble tonight thanks to Google screwing up and thanks to my internet screwing up. This is just not really great. Not really a great day.
To be fair, America's internet is not all that great, so...
Yeah, this is what happens when you live in America and you don't have Google Fiber.
1% of Americans have great internet. The 99% of us have crappy internet.
Though a lot of them still at least pay for Comcast, so they get good internet about 50% of the time.
I'll give you a more accurate result soon enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to your house and stay over for a bit and, you know, borrow your connection there.
Just get a bunch of get a bunch of those Wi-Fi repeaters, and just put one at his house, and then just station them at telephone poles every few blocks.
There we go. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Or, you know, I could just, if T-Mobile would give me more than 5 gigs worth of tethering. If I could have unlimited tethering on T-Mobile, oh man. I've gotten as high as like 40 meg down so far.
Wow.
What are we bashing first?
Well, we're starting off with Microsoft, and I don't really think there's anything to bash. Microsoft actually spent more time talking about games than anyone else at E3.
This is true.
They barely even mentioned the K word.
Yeah.
Actually, Microsoft did not mention Kinect once. Harmonix was the only one to mention Kinect.
Harmonix mentioned the Kinect because obviously that's all they do. And
Yeah.
then it was in their little indie spiel where they had a bunch of clips of indie games that are coming into the Xbox One. There was one little split-second game where you used your arms and hands and feet or whatever to create platforms for these little people to jump around on.
Oh yeah, a lot of people said that was actually really cool when they got to play test it.
Thinking about it now, actually, if Microsoft really never mentioned Kinect the whole time, which I'm pretty sure that's accurate, that actually makes Sony that much more douchey for poking at them for the few seconds that they did.
Yeah, when you actually look at I mean, Nintendo was very different this year, but when you compare Microsoft and Sony this year felt like a Microsoft conference from a couple of years ago.
Yes,
Microsoft felt like Sony last year.
you're taking the words out of my mouth, good sir.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this was the first Sony conference where I was like,
Really never
oh
mentioned
my
the whole
God, shut
time.
up.
Pretty sure that's accurate. That actually makes Sony that much more douchey. For
What the hello? Why do you autoplay this stuff?
oh, it was you.
Wow, technical difficulties. We'll get some elevator music going on while we work through this.
We're short-staffed. We're late. Fuck.
We don't know what we're doing tonight. Thank you, Google, for screwing us over with the side of AT&T's doucheness.
Okay.
Hopefully we can continue now.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Microsoft spent the entire conference only talking about games, which I don't think they've done since they started making a game console.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
That's probably mostly accurate.
I think the most, there was a lot of cool things at Microsoft. I mean, obviously a lot of the big games are still, multi-platform, but Microsoft came back and got exclusive DLC or betas for basically every game that was shown at E3. They got exclusive beta for Evolve. They got DLC first for Division, DLC first for Evolve, DLC first for Call of Duty. I think they got DLC first for Assassin's Creed.
Did they? I didn't hear that confirmed that they were getting first DLC.
They're getting something for Assassin's Creed at least. But I mean, they're getting tons of stuff. This is going back to the Microsoft of like 3 years ago that every person who owned a PS3 was pissed because it's like every game you had to wait, and then all of a sudden Sony finally was like, hey, maybe we should spend money on that.
One of the worst things I remember, Tomb Raider Underworld for the 360, PS3, etc. Tomb Raider Underworld got 2 pieces of story, like epilogue type DLC, only on the Xbox. Never came to anything else. Not PC, not PS3, nothing. So you go and buy.
I don't. Timed exclusive is one thing. Yeah, timed exclusive is one thing. Permanently exclusive is that's a bit douchey.
If they
so far, the only thing Microsoft had completely exclusive was the only thing they had completely exclusive was the Evolve beta, I think.
And obviously, Phantom Dust and Scalebound.
Yeah, Scalebound looks interesting.
What is?
Yeah, we don't really have an idea of what it is, but that was one of the
what the fuck? What else is there to this game?
It's
how. Yeah, and that was one of the biggest complaints that I kept seeing. Is like he was saying, and people said that Nintendo was so much better than everybody else because Nintendo was showing gameplay.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, okay, that's true. They were showing gameplay, but they were showing gameplay for, I mean, let's be honest, with the exception of the open world Zelda, relatively still basic games that are based off of previous engines. Most of the stuff that was shown off at the other 4 that was CGI, especially at Microsoft and Sony, these are huge, complicated games that are most likely still early in development, so they're just not ready to show you. And a lot of companies, they don't want to show you alpha. They don't want to show you alpha footage. They don't like doing that.
That's actually what I kind of liked about EA's press conference, is they actually went in and were showing these people actually working and modeling these. So you like the Star Wars Battlefront. They were
Yeah,
showing...
the thing is, that's going to bite them in the ass if when that game comes out next year and it doesn't look as good as that. They're like, wait a second. We saw this. I don't give a shit that it said early footage. I want to see it exactly like that. And they'll be like, well, you can if you own an $8,000 gaming PC.
But they did the same thing for Mirror's Edge and Criterion's new game.
Yeah,
Just
Criterion's new game was so beta that there weren't even textures there.
No, because
some of those clips of Criterion's game, you just saw a wireframe.
Because it's everything but cars. All Criterion has done is cars. And now
like, we want to show you just how far away this is. We don't even have the world built yet. We're just going to show you giant blocks that you fly through. We haven't even done anything yet. But you know, a lot of people complain about CGI. But, I don't mind seeing a CGI trailer. That doesn't necessarily bother me. Because I know eventually when the game comes out, we'll see actual gameplay. And a lot of these games are far away, so I don't really expect to see anything. It's like Halo 5. People gave them crap for the Halo 5 preview being CGI. Like, it's friggin' 6 months away. They probably don't even have anything ready to record yet.
Because they saw
Halo 5. They're getting a whole collection.
Yeah, it's like buy the thing you're gonna get into the beta. What does it matter that they showed at E3? Who cares about cinematic trailers? Yeah, and I don't know, just the cinematic. CGI trailers have never bothered me. I think the only CGI trailers that have ever bothered me were the Halo ones because their CGI trailers did not fit with the game when it actually came out at all.
Or they were live action.
Yeah, and the live action ones made even less sense. Like, what was it? Wasn't it the Halo? Yeah, the Halo 3 trailer. Yeah, that was the one that pissed me off the most. I don't know if you guys remember this. The Halo 3 trailer, this was on TV a lot, where it was like a diorama of like a major battle, and the camera was going through it, and then at the very end, the model of Master Chief looks up with the plasma grenade in his hand. And it made everyone think that in Halo 3 there was going to be this enormous battle with like thousands and thousands of like Covenant and humans, and oh yeah, that never happened in any game. Sure, it happened in the books, but it didn't happen in the game, and you were using it to advertise the freaking game.
Maybe it was actually advertising the book.
Oh, and they just put the wrong thing at the end?
Yeah. They put Halo 3 instead of Halo the novel or whatever.
But with all the other announcements, with the new trailer for Tomb Raider, it's like, yay, a new Tomb Raider. But with everything else that they announced, and there was some awesome stuff they announced, like Forza Horizon and the other ones, but I think the Master Chief Collection just overshadows just about everything else, because even though we already knew about this because it got leaked, but it just being a...
Anything on again.
There goes Nathan. I guess I'll piggyback off of that. But the thing with the Master Chief Collection is that it got leaked. You're wondering if they were going to do anything for Halo 2 Anniversary, and I thought it was clever. They kind of just stuck that in this collection, that they're apparently going to give the same treatment that they gave to Combat Evolved. They're going to give it to Halo 2, but include that in the Master Chief Collection, to where they're going to redo the graphics and make them look that much better. Whereas 3 and 4, I guess they think they look good enough. That's just upscaling, I think.
Yeah, that because Halo 3 and 4 probably look almost as good as early gen, like next gen stuff, where the time and effort it would probably be required to go through to completely overhaul them. Because it's been that far out from Halo 3 and 4, whereas from Halo 1 and 2, the graphics on those have not aged gracefully.
No.
Compared to stuff now. So there's going to be a stark contrast to go play those. Whereas you play Halo 3 or especially Halo 4, you're looking at Halo 4 and you're like, on the Xbox One. I was like, yeah, this looks like it could be an early generation Xbox One game. You know, it looks sharp and pretty. Because
I'd say I'd say 4K fits that category. Whereas there's a gap, pretty big one between Halo 3 and Halo 4.
I don't remember that much of Halo 3 because I think I only played ODST. I don't think I ever actually played 3.
But that really is that's going to sell a lot of people. That's going to make Xbox One suddenly fly off shelves.
If I was into Halo, I would be going to buy an Xbox One right now, without the Kinect, obviously.
I gotta say, and I'm a very late bloomer to Halo, and I'm still not gonna sit here and say like, oh my god, it's the best game ever, but it's pretty good. You know, I started off with 4. I was gonna kind of backtrack from there and try to play it, you know, timeline wise, but never really got to it. Mostly because I decided to do everything like an idiot, and got stuck in the first Halo game because of that.
See, I played Halo 3 ODST. I played Halo Reach, and I think those are the only Halo games I've actually played. And aside from being absolutely crap at them, I actually became more interested in Halo when I started reading up on the lore, because the lore for Halo is actually kind of interesting, especially when you go into Cortana's history and progression throughout the series. She had, from what I've read of the lore on Halo, Cortana probably has enough backstory and history to carry her own game.
Maybe when they're doing Master Chief, that'll be a thing.
That would be.
You got to wonder how they'd explain the completely different changes between each part.
Oh, her body style, texturing.
Oh yes.
Stuff.
Oh yes.
No, you blame that on a upgrade in her mainframe, her graphical processing unit.
An upgrade in her firmware.
Yeah, so you upgrade her firmware and her hardware, and she looks prettier.
Right. You know, I'm looking at a list for things during E3. Apparently, there's a Killer Instinct Season 2. I don't recall this.
It wasn't. It was like, I don't even know if it was mentioned on during the presser, but it was like briefly glossed over. And there's Killer Instinct Season 2, which starts with the dude with the boxing gloves, the boxer guy. I don't know, the black boxer.
Oh, Balrog. Oops, that's Street Fighter. Wrong series. TJ Combo.
Yes, TJ Combo. I think he's leading off Season 2 of the DLC characters.
Indeed.
I think that's all they really said about that. Because the what's his face came on that led the Killer Instinct reboot. He was mainly there to talk about Phantom Dust, which was another CG trailer that showed absolutely nothing, I guess, unless you're a fan of Phantom Dust. I don't even know what it was.
Me either. That makes two of us. I mean, I guess they didn't. For the fans of apparently something that existed before this, which I didn't know, neither did you, but I guess that's really all they needed for it.
Apparently, Phantom Dust was a original Xbox card-based battler RPG type thing, so kind of a Yu-Gi-Oh style thing, I guess.
So it's like Phantasy Star Online Episode 3 that everyone forgot about because it's a card game.
Yeah. So apparently the new Phantom Dust is going to be a reboot/remake of the original. So it's not like a sequel or anything. Like it's not like a long lost, long awaited sequel. It's more of just, oh, remember that old game you used to play that a couple of you know about? Well, here it is again in HD with new stuff. which... Oh, there's Nathan. AT&T strikes again.
Yep. One of the greatest things during that press conference was Capcom making fun of themselves with the...
That was... Yes.
I joked around about that so many times in the group, and they actually came out and did it. DLC Dead Rising 3, Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition, and actually they left out part of that. They did put Alpha in that.
Plus Alpha or Alpha Plus or...
Yeah, plus Alpha, like the one spin-off series that they did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. It's about time they started getting a little self-referential with their crazy Street Fighter remakes.
It's good when they realize how ridiculous they are at times.
I think that also came on the heels of Dead Rising 3 for PC, which is pretty cool that they're finally porting some of their Xbox games to PC, because Microsoft doesn't care about PC gaming as much as they claim they do.
Yeah.
However, Dead Rising 3 is going to be capped at 30 frames per second on PC. But you are welcome to uncap it, but...
Why would you make it captive?
For whatever reason, Capcom has decided that they are capping it and optimizing Dead Rising on PC at 30 frames per second. You are welcome to go and edit the E file and uncap it, but you may break it.
That is stupid.
Capcom.
Like, what's the point of PC version?
PC version? That's pretty much the only point, is that it's PC. I think the resolution is going to be a little bit better. I read one hands-on preview and they said, it's perfectly playable at 30 frames per second, whatever, and it looks really good, blah blah blah. But it's no PC Master Race 60 frames per second 4K resolution.
No.
Whatnot.
That just seems another waste of time. I don't know why they would do that.
Dear AT&T, go fuck yourselves.
You heard it from Nathan.
That's all I have to say for the rest of the night right now.
You're just going to repeat that over and over?
That is the 5th time today I've had to reset the internet to get it to work, and who the hell knows if it's even going to work. It's ridiculous.
Sounds legit.
Sounds like Sony's press conference.
And here's another really, really stupid thing that AT&T does with this shit that it makes me install. If you try to open up a web page when the internet hasn't completely come back yet, it will try to redirect it to like the AT&T modem page, but instead of redirecting it to like the IP address, it creates like a fake page. Like, for example, google.com/cgi-bin/redirect. Now, normally you would think, okay, well, when I go type in Google, once I get internet back, it'll work. But no, it breaks that link on your entire friggin' computer. That is how stupid AT&T is.
I don't...
Uverse.
That sounds like the worst possible idea in the world. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it is. And I'm planning on uninstalling AT&T shit. Well, that's the thing. I have AT&T stuff installed on this computer, but it doesn't matter. Even if I get rid of it, it'll still do that because it does it on the phone. It does it on everything.
Wow. Okay.
Get them to bring their dumbasses out here in the next few days because it's pissing me off.
On your phone?
Yeah, anything connected to their internet.
That's crazy.
Do they just breaking the internet?
Yeah, basically it breaks your entire internet until you eventually get internet back. That is how stupid AT&T Uverse is. So anytime somebody complains about Comcast, they'll say, I wish I could complain about Comcast, because anything would be better than AT&T. At least with Comcast, I'd get 50 megabits so that if it does break for an hour, it doesn't matter because I already finished what I had to do. AT&T, I'm gonna wait 10 hours for someone to download. So when AT&T breaks, it sucks because actually that adds another hour to my waiting time. If I had Google Fiber freaking 900 megabits down, that downloads crash so fast it could be down for 10 hours a day. I wouldn't even care. I'd get everything done in 10 minutes. Steam sale, buy everything. It's done in an hour.
Yeah, you get Google Fiber and you can download Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition in like 3 seconds.
Alright, so let's get off of that.
I'm just not happy right now.
Does anyone want to talk about Conker's glorious, not so glorious return?
I think a lot of people would like to forget that. I mean, I thought it was cool in the sense that somebody actually still remembers who Conker is, because, you know, it's never going to happen otherwise, but...
I thought that was really cool to have him in Project Spark. Who knows what the hell it's going to be, but it's just cool to bring him back.
But I think a lot of people saw that as a slap in the face.
It's both a slap in the face and kind of cool, because on the one hand, it's like, a new Conker game is never going to happen. So here you go, make your own Conker game. On the other hand, it's kind of lazy, slap in the face. Well, if you want a Conker game so bad, go make your own kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, how often do we complain about, you know, people remaking, you know, older games or bringing older characters back? I actually think we'll probably get better stuff with fan-made stuff.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I should get it, because then I can make my own Mega Man game.
There you go. Which definitely will be better than anything Capcom's going to do.
I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as Conker is released onto Project Spark, that if someone doesn't go in there and recreate the original Conker game...
Oh, yeah, of course. That's going to be done in like a month. So actually, somebody will probably recreate the whole game now and then just toss Conker into it once it comes out.
Yeah.
You said something about downloading Fallout New Vegas in like 20 seconds. I looked it up. 20 gigabytes would take 2 minutes and 40 seconds to download on Google Fiber.
That is insane.
Wow.
So you figure you're probably not going to get it, but it's 3 minutes. 3 minutes to download 20 gig. That means that I could have downloaded all of Wolfenstein in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Instead of, you know, 5 weeks. Thanks, AT&T.
So
actually, let's. I'm gonna go actually look that now. Let's see. Yeah, it would take me at maximum speed. It would take me 20 hours to download Wolfenstein.
Is that all?
Yep. Google Fiber, about 7 minutes.
Reminds me of having dial-up and having to download 3DS Max. That did not work so well.
Oh, man.
After this stream, we will all officially be crying in the corner because we don't have Google Fiber.
Yep, though Victor gets Comcast at the end of the week, so his signal will stop looking as bad.
Fucking ain't right.
I'll be the only one stuck here was still crappy.
And you're capped at 6, so I mean, you just you just have it really bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to being able to test out, I think, about 70 or 80 megabit down on T-Mobile this week.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like, okay, I need to bring a 1 terabyte external hard drive, somehow install Steam on my phone, and download everything. Just leave it going overnight. The phone might overheat and explode, but it'll be worth it.
No, you need to get yourself a Windows tablet.
Windows LTE tablet on T-Mobile. There you go.
No, just get a T-Mobile hotspot or something.
Yeah, but they're capped though.
Oh.
They cap their tethering. They give you unlimited data, but they cap the tethering. And I don't blame them from capping the tethering because they know what we would do with it if they didn't cap the tethering. Exactly what I'm talking about doing.
Download every Steam game ever.
Exactly. The internet sucks at home, just download everything. And I guess my video is not coming back.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Looking that way.
Actually, the light's not even on my camera. Did I unplug it or something? Well, I couldn't have unplugged it because if I unplugged it, it wouldn't have any audio.
So the Master Chief Collection definitely overshadows a lot of things. We do have another, of course, exclusive for the Xbox One. We have Sunset Overdrive, which we already saw some bits of. And
Still amazing.
I gotta say, this is the first. I'm probably alone in this, but this is the first Insomniac game in a while where I'm like,
It looks really fun and really wacky and cool. The only thing I find interesting is the hands-on previews I have heard of it. They say that the game looks fast, but when you're actually playing it, it feels really slow. Like the traversal system and everything actually feels kind of slow when you're playing it, so I don't know if that's going to turn out to be a good thing or a bad thing.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, I mean, it's kind of like, I guess part of it is I've never really been big on like Tony Hawk, which is a lot of what it reminds me of. But
Yeah, it does. It does have that with the grinding of the rails and the jumping and the flipping and whatnot.
on the flip side, you got the Ratchet and Clank side of them, whereas the weapons are going to be really unique and fun, I'm sure, which will help make the game.
Okay, now that I'm back. Rate the video and audio quality. 1. Thank you, Google.
hell,
Thank you for giving me the
resistance,
opportunity to
too.
tell
They're
someone else how
pretty
much
good
18
at
inches
that as well.
sucks. I think Sunset Overdrive looks like a ton of fun. Is it 100% original? No, but it looks fun. And in my opinion, that's the most important thing for a game, is for it to look fun. And 8-player co-op, that sounds awesome.
That sounds like a lag fest.
And I really wish that they did 8-player split screen, because we know the Xbox One supports it. We know that Xbox One supports 8 controllers, so they really should somehow make 8-player split screen work.
That would be...
Drop the frame rate to 10, but it'll be worth it just to see it work.
Yeah, seriously, how would that work and not be a complete and utter mess?
The frame rate...
on that giant screen that's at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, maybe.
I mean, if that's possible, by all means, I'm all for it, but until that's a possibility, that just seems like it'll always go bad.
No, see, what they'll do is there'll be some indie game that will be all 8-bit pixel graphics, and it will support 8 players or something. Like it'll be something like Towerfall or Nighthawk.
Oh no! I got it.
My Gun or.
I got it. They bring back Xbox Live Arcade. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade with 8 players.
Are you gonna clone the turtles?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who are the other 4? Well, you can get 2. You can get Casey and you can get April O'Neil. Who are the other 2?
I don't know. Randomly put Master Chief
Wait,
and
Splinter,
like,
wait,
I
we
don't
need
know.
one more.
Put Master Chief and Cortana in there randomly. Exclusive characters for the Xbox.
Oh, God.
How awesome would it be? TMNT Arcade with 8 players. I mean, aside from the fact that you would literally not be able to see anything on the screen, that would be hilarious.
That would be utter chaos. See,
It would be
the only way this 8-player split screen or just 8-player at all is gonna work is with something like Samurai Gun or Nighthawk or Starwall.
Castle Crashers 2 with 8 players.
Or yeah, Castle Crash. That would be perfect. 8-player Castle Crasher.
That would actually make that game more fun with 8 players.
Going back to last episode real quick. I may or may not have made the comparison to Mario Kart 64 with Mario Kart 8, and I can honestly say that Mario Kart 64 does exist in Mario Kart 8. Just play it with more than 2 people.
Oh, so you have tried it and it drops down, huh?
Yes, and oh my god. Like, it's still playable, but fuck.
It feels like playing the N64 version, huh?
Yes.
Because the N64 version lagged badly when you had 4 people.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And you accept that for what it is, but you get used to the buttery smoothness of 60 frames per second Mario Kart, and then you just go to, especially with all the stuff you can do in the game, going on the sides and the ceilings and whatever, and then you play that in 30, it's just like, wow, this is a piece of shit.
We've had this 30 frames per second can work fine when the game is optimized for it. But when the game is optimized for 60 and it drops down, it's just not enjoyable.
The other question is it a rock solid 30, or is it a capped at 30 but hovers around 25, 20?
I'm gonna guess that.
Okay. Now we know that'll be why. If it was capped at 30, I mean, it should be slower, but it should still be smooth. So if it's not smooth, then yeah, it's just not keeping the same frame rate, which basically means that it's the N64 version all over again.
Like I said, it still exists.
Oh man,
it's built into
the
game.
So I was talking about Master Chief. Did you guys explain everything that's in the Master Chief Collection?
Oh, no. We'll probably go into more detail on that. We kind of just went back and forth on it a little bit, but
okay. So the Master Chief Collection is $60. That's the thing. It's only $60. It's the same price as a new game. You get Halo 1 and Halo 2 Anniversary Editions with both the original graphics and the updated ones that you can switch through, which you can switch back and forth between at the push of a button. You get Halo 3. You get Halo 4. You get all of the DLC maps for all the games. You get all of the content and all of the levels unlocked as soon as you start the game. And the way they explain that, I also think you get all the customizations unlocked for your multiplayer character. In which case, that's friggin' awesome, and that right there is enough for me to buy the game.
You also get all of it in 1080p greatness and 60 frames per second and dedicated servers.
Yeah, and dedicated servers, that's the last thing. Every game has their original multiplayer engines included. So Halo 2 is back, and will be the #1 played game on Xbox Live for the entire lifetime of the Xbox One.
That's why they. That's why they did this.
Halo 2 was still played 6 months after they shut off the servers on the original Xbox. People left their consoles on. The final game was only played with like 3 people. And the only reason why it didn't continue is because one of the guys lost power.
So here's the question. Since this generation will inevitably die probably earlier than last gen did, how long will the next group of people keep Halo 2 alive?
Someone will set up their own server, hack the Xbox One to work with it, and it will continue on forever and ever.
I mean, with the power of the cloud, maybe we can have Halo 2 for an eternity.
Halo 2 will never die.
Halo 2 Infinite.
But the hilarious thing is, like Dustin even said, now with this, Halo should go back to, the Major League sports scene. And, well, already Halo 3 is back, and there's rumors that they're going to bring Halo 2 in as well. But this collection is amazing. I mean, all 4 games, all the multiplayer, all on dedicated servers, which it never was before. Part of the reason why I hated playing online. Everything unlocked from the start, all the maps included. It's an amazing collection, and I mean, even if you're not a Halo fan, this is something that you should consider getting if you own an Xbox One, just to go through and play the games. And they should be so much more enjoyable in the higher resolution and higher frame rate.
Even Jack Tretton, who was on Spike TV, profusely complimented Phil Spencer on the Master Chief Collection. He said that was one of his favorite things from E3 was that Halo Master Chief Collection.
I think the only bad thing I can say about it is that it doesn't include ODST and Reach. But obviously, it's the Master Chief Collection, so it's supposed to be just Master Chief's story, and those are both, side stories. But it is a little disappointing because Reach and ODST were really great games for what they were. But maybe we'll get them as DLC for Master Chief Collection.
Or
$10 for ODST, $20 for Reach, maybe.
Yeah, they'll be released on Xbox Live Arcade as like HD remakes.
Yeah, and they were both the same as Halo. They were both the same as Halo 3, so they don't need to have all the textures redone and that. Just the same treatment that 3 and 4 got, just the up in resolution and frame rate.
Also, why do we keep calling these HD remakes when they were already HD to begin with?
Well, that's the thing. It's like I don't call 3 and 4 HD remakes. I just call them. I was just calling them just like not because they're not a remake. They're just nothing was remade in those games. It's the exact same game recoded for the new hardware, and just higher specifications. It's not a remake. And even 1 and 2 weren't actually remakes. I mean, they like the anniversary editions, they weren't remakes in the the strict sense because it's actually still the original game, just with all new graphics that you can turn on and off in the press of a button. Because you can still play the original Halo 1 looking as crappy as it did. And same with Halo 2. And it's going to be really cool to see Halo 2 with Anniversary, because there was some awesome missions in Halo 2. And I'm really looking forward to replaying that. I have the PC version, and I loved it. And the PC version looked better than the Xbox version. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, to playing the Anniversary Edition, hopefully this fall.
Yeah, this
so
is
I can't really think of anything else to say about Microsoft. It was a great show. Phil Spencer and the new people in charge of Microsoft are doing a hell of a job, and Microsoft is doing better than ever, and I can't wait to see what keeps coming.
So,
the only reason
you want to talk about EA, Ubisoft, etc.?
Well, now we should move on to Sony.
Yeah, towards
nobody has anything to say about Sony because it was just that boring.
With our current plan, we can do EA/Ubisoft towards the end.
Anybody have anything to say about Sony?
Sony still had a lot of really good games. They did feel a little smug and a little prideful. They knew that they're still riding high on the PS4 and last year's E3, so they're a little, they had their noses up in the air a little bit, and you could tell. They had lots of technical issues. Whoever their sound guy was either needs help or needs to be fired, because those people's microphones would just randomly stop working. A guy would come up on the stage, and you'd see his mouth moving, and he was doing all this gesturing and stuff, but you had no idea what he was saying.
Yeah, it did happen a couple times. For me, there wasn't really much in Sony's that really was like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff with Microsoft's was like, wow, I really want an Xbox One this year. With Sony, there wasn't really much there that made me really want to go run out and get a PS4. The only one exception was pretty much No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky and Destiny, which Sony has the exclusive PS4 beta access.
Which Destiny, I mean, the more seeing more of it, it starts to look more and more interesting. But I don't know, I'm just not sold on it. I still think one of the biggest reasons is this Bungie's just being such dicks with the PC version. But No Man's Sky looks absolutely amazing. Supposedly that's going to come out for PC too, and though I guess it's coming out for PS4 first.
Yeah, I think that was the big thing with a lot of the with a lot of the games was, especially the indie ones, they were PS4 first.
Yeah, they're PS4 first and PC a little later. But No Man's Sky looks amazing. I hope that it comes to PC at some point because it looks like an amazing game, but it doesn't, for as much as that game looks amazing, I don't think it's enough to make me go run out and buy a PS4 when this year, right away when the Xbox has more stuff. At least for me. And
the other big, I think it's so far an exclusive, is Bloodborne on the PS4, aka Project Beast.
Yeah.
From Software, which all of the Dark Souls fans are going absolutely bonkers over.
Yes, I didn't find that to be all that interesting, but of course, with the same makers of Dark Souls, people are going to go nuts over that naturally.
It, at least from what I'm gathering from like the leaked trailer and some of the stuff, it looks like Dark Souls when Victorian era with guns, maybe. This is just what I'm gathering from the trailer and the leaked gameplay trailer. Is it from the guys that did Dark Souls or Demon Souls? I forget which one it's actually more of a spiritual successor to.
I think it was. Well, I mean, they're both very similar. I mean,
they are, but I thought it was specific. If it was specifically from the team that did Demon Souls or the director that did Demon Souls, or if it was the Dark Souls team, because there was some differentiation between the two. But it looks pretty gruesome, pretty very dark. The trailer made it look like a zombie outbreak in old Victorian England. And
it looked very, very strange. It actually reminded me a little bit of The Order.
But darker.
Yeah. Speaking of The Order, the demo for The Order really didn't seem that exciting. It actually bored me.
Nope.
What?
When I realized that's what that was, because I was tweeting a lot of this stuff when I was actually watching it. When I realized that's what that was, I'm like, wow, I don't think I care about this game anymore.
Yeah.
The thing is, both
games... the CGI trailer last year made me really, really, really excited for that game. It looked really cool. And it's like, the first gameplay you show us is probably one of the most boring parts of the entire game.
No, they've shown 2 gameplay trailers. One was a 4-player co-op race across the street into a building with.
That's right. That one looked cool, but this one they showed this year was just boring as hell.
Well, yeah, because the other one looked like like what they were originally showing, which was 4-player co-op of 4-player Gears of War style, I guess.
Yeah.
And then
that's what we were excited for. He's just like, yeah, this is going to be Sony's Gears of War.
And now all of a sudden we're single-player survival horror.
Yeah. Speaking of Gears of War, so the Gears of War logo was flashed at the end of the Microsoft event, which people freaked out about. It's like, oh my god, we're getting more Gears, and it's like, yeah, no crap. They bought the franchise, hired Rod Ferguson, and they're busy at work.
2015.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get a teaser trailer E3 next year. I think they'll be long enough. I think they'll be far enough along then to give us a little taste of what's gonna come, and I figure probably 2016 for release for that because they're still supposedly very early in development. As far as Sony goes, the best announcement for me at Sony's was one that really has nothing to do with Sony. Rockstar just gave them the ability to say it. Was the announcement of GTA 5 coming out for PS4, PC, and Xbox One. And the Sony guy was a little bit of a douchebag, and the way in which he said it, he made it sound like it was only coming to the PS4.
He did. He really did.
All of a sudden, you saw all over the internet, GTA 5 exclusive to PS4. 10 minutes later, Rockstar posts a blog, and it's like, oh, wait, no, it's coming for these.
Yeah, well, because he said, they announced... did he say coming to PS4 or did he say coming to next gen? But he was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, he specifically said coming to PS4. And then he said that 360 and PS3 owners will be able to transfer their save to PS4. He didn't say a single word about the Xbox One or the PC.
which
So I
can
mean, I don't blame people for thinking that, but it's like, come on, they're not going to release it as an exclusive.
no.
You know, the only reason why GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas were exclusives was because the Xbox didn't exist when those came out.
Any gamer that's logically would realize that that wouldn't be the case, which of course is why you saw a bunch of gamers tweeting that.
Yeah. Now the one thing that was is that the gameplay trailer that they showed, that was, like I said, that was footage from the PS4, and that's why it was there. Now a lot of people are saying that that was footage from the PS4 because the PS4 version is going to be better than the Xbox One version, and they didn't want to show the Xbox One version because it doesn't look as good. I don't agree with this. Obviously, the Xbox One is the less powerful system. We know this. Rockstar, however, is not one to make their games different on one platform than another. And that's evident in the last generation. The PS3 could do better than the Xbox 360. That's the honest truth. It could. But when you look at the Rockstar games that came out, they were identical on both systems. GTA 4, GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption, they were identical on both systems. Maybe some very minor changes. Maybe you get a little bit more frame rate or a little faster pop-in on one or the other. But basically they were identical. And I don't see Rockstar doing anything different this time around either.
That in fact makes them smart for delaying next gen, because you probably wouldn't have gotten as much out of the Xbox One version that you would now when these come out.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's also possible that now that Kinect is optional, they will take advantage of that extra horsepower to get it up. But like a lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to be 1080-60 on PS4 and 1080-30 on on Xbox One. I'm like, no, it's probably going to be 1080-30 on both, because when you look at, like, for example, the last gen consoles, they could do 60 frames per second. We know that. Call of Duty did it. Other games did it. Many games chose not to try and get better frame rate or better textures. Battlefield 3 and 4 are good examples of that. But GTA 5 is another good example of that, where they focused on always having 30 frames per second constant no matter what you were doing in the game, whether you were blowing up 100 cars or just walking down the street. You always have 30 frames per second. And you have really good high quality, relatively high quality textures. And I think that it's going to be the same for the next gen versions. I think the textures and the models are all going to be vastly improved. We already saw in the trailer that there's tons more traffic and there's tons of more animals. So we're going to get a lot more detail, but I think they're going to still keep it at the 30 frames per second to keep it stable, because I don't think they're going to be able to keep that game at a consistent 60, even on the hardware of the PS4. Now, PC, that's another thing entirely. Sure, the PC will be able to do it if your computer costs about $20,000.
That's the thing. You're going to need a large pixel collider to run the PC version.
Yeah, you will need the large pixel collider.
Which is really annoying. That's one of the reasons why I haven't bought GTA 4 yet, even though it's been on sale for like $5.
And I bought it the day it came out and have never played it.
Yeah, because I don't want to deal with trying to get this stupid thing to run.
Yeah. I tried to play it, and I meet and beat all of the system requirements, and I could play it at 800 by 600 at about 15 frames per second with everything off.
See, so why? Because LA Noire, that I think actually runs fairly decently on PC, if I remember right.
I was trying to see how much the large pixel collider costs, but last time I remember, it was something like over 10,000.
I don't know, say, do they actually give the price of that thing?
Well, it's got 4 GTX Titans, so right there, that's like $4,000. It's got 64 gigabytes of Corsair Dominator. That's probably a good $1,000 right there. 4 terabyte Western Digital Black. That's got to be at least $1,000.
This is why they can play Mass Effect 3 at 8K.
Yeah, the Large Pixel Collider is actually able to play Battlefield 4 at 8K not 8K but 7680 by 1440. So that's a triple monitor setup, I believe.
What was it? They also did this. They like also going back and taking old games. Like I think they took the original Thief and cranked that up to like 4K.
Oh yeah, I mean it's awesome. Speaking of Mass Effect in 8K, I know we were talking about E3 there, but this is something that was posted, and this is really something. Currently, I'm currently loading the image. Give it a second here.
Take about 10 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna load it up in Firefox because it's already. Oh wait, you know what? Let me just save it. I didn't think about that. Let me just save the image. It'll load better from Windows. Well, we hope it'll load better from Windows. Okay, so this is a screenshot of Mass Effect in 8K resolution.
Which will probably be about 800 by 600 in the Hangout.
Yeah, I mean, it'll look pretty terrible here. The actual resolution of the image is 7680 by 4320. This is higher resolution than you see movies in the theater. Now, it's very difficult to see, but allow me to zoom in here.
In other words,
yeah, that is the dialogue wheel. Oh, wait, I just realized my screen's not being shared anymore. This is the dialogue wheel, right here. And I will now zoom out.
Wow.
So aside from the fact that you basically need a 400-inch monitor just to be able to read the text on the screen.
See, that's what's always fun about upscaling.
Zoom in again. There's the text.
It never upscales the UI. Whenever you upscale these games to crazy resolutions, the UI stays the same.
But I mean, the quality here is unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if you'll see it over the video, but you can see like individual lines in Tally's HUD.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable the quality you're getting at this resolution.
Was this with the modded textures or is this vanilla?
I'm not sure. He didn't actually say, but I mean, these textures, you got the carbon fiber texture right here. I mean, it is incredibly impressive.
Because is Mass Effect 3 even programmed to go up that high?
I don't think so.
That's why I'm wondering if he's using those HD texture mods.
So this is another picture. This is from the Citadel DLC, I believe. And we have this is viewing the full image, and then this is the actual size. Well, great texturing around Miranda. But it's really so. I mean, even Liara, even this far away, you can make out the lines on her face. I mean, it's.
And her hair texture.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can even see the texture of the shirt. It's really unbelievable how good. Like, and Ashley still looks like she's fucking crazy. She really does look like a crazy person right there. She really does.
Just
no spoilers. I mean, it's unbelievable. Oh, more boobs. That's Bioware for you. It's really just unbelievable what it looks like. I'm trying to see if he says how he did it. He says the game's. Okay, so here's what he says. He says the game's frame rate was unplayable. But you know, But you said even though it was unplayable, he was at least able to get some images. I'm trying to read up what he said there. Actually, yeah, he didn't even actually. It's not even that good of a PC, but he was able to get it up.
Wow.
He said he did use a few texture mods.
Okay, that would be how he got the texture resolution up that high.
Yeah, so he did use some. There's not really that many texture mods you can do to it though, because of Unreal Engine. But
yeah,
still, I mean, 8K resolution.
Yeah,
So
there's
you got
not many.
5 to 6 FPS in firefights, sometimes just 1 frame.
Wow.
For cutscenes, it went up to 15.
So it's basically a slideshow.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, it's amazing to see this. It's like I saw it's like, can someone just render that? Put like 20 PCs together, render that, and put it out as a movie. Maybe downscale it to 4K because that'll be good enough.
Anyway, who's excited for Grim Fandango on PS4 and Vita?
The Vita still exists.
Yes, it does.
I think that's what most people took from that.
They'd love you to think that.
It was like, yay, Grim Fandango. Wait, the Vita is still being sold? What?
The Vita still exists and is a great place to play a lot of indie games or to play your PS4 games remotely, like the Wii U gamepad. That's basically what the Vita is now. The Vita is a portable indie Steam console and
It also has Borderlands.
That also has Borderlands, but it's the worst version of Borderlands. And it also lets you play your PS4 games remotely.
Yeah, Borderlands is so bad that it takes like 2 minutes just to go from one map to the next.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I have to say, Grim Fandango HD was a bit of a surprise. I don't think anyone really saw that coming. Little Big Planet 3 was also infinitely adorable.
I'm so surprised about that, but it's like I always assumed that would be coming eventually.
Well, yeah, but it was like there were no rumors, there were no nothing. It was just lights on. Oh, Little Big Planet 3. Is this?
Yeah. It looks really good. The graphics look like a nice improvement. The extra characters seem kind of interesting. The bird really seems like cheating, though.
The bird?
Oh, I suck. Bird, come over here and pick me up because I can't play.
No, the bird character, you give the bird character to the person who can't play, so they can just fly around the level.
There you go. There you go.
Then if you get lazy or get stuck or something, you can just say, "Hey, bird, come here and pick me up." And
yeah, there you go. I saw that coming though. I mean, I knew that had to come at some point.
Yeah, I also would like to mention that the co-op commentary or chatter on Little Big Planet 3 was the best of any of the co-op demos with people.
Yeah, that was good. Because you could tell they actually were playing it there, which is kind of nice.
They were actually playing the game and they were reacting to what they were playing, rather than reading off a script and not actually playing the game.
Yeah. I kind of hope that Sony takes a cue from Microsoft with the Master Chief Collection, and I would love to see them do that with Uncharted.
I actually would not be surprised if that happened, since Uncharted is kind of a big thing for them.
It's like you got Uncharted 4 coming out. I think it's was that 2015 or did they not give a date for that? I don't think they gave a date for that.
Yeah,
I don't think they did, but I want to assume 2015.
Yeah. And
Just
actually,
Google it real quick to see if they did give a date.
An Uncharted collection would make sense because Sony has been in the habit recently of packaging up all of their trilogies into one nice little disc and re-releasing them.
So they have said that it is set. They are looking for a 2015 release window.
That was the theme of this E3, was 2015.
Yeah.
Thing.
Which people were upset about, but it's new consoles. It takes developers time, to get used to it and learn how to do the hardware. So.
It's really annoying when they say, "Oh, 2014." 2015.
Yeah, I would love to see Sony, get the 3 Uncharted games over. They already did it with Last of Us. I also really want to see them do it with Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go buy a PS3 just for that game, which I still really want to play.
Just watch it. Just go on YouTube, find a playthrough, and just watch it. You'll get the
I probably will at some point. I actually bookmarked one, and I meant to download it. Maybe I'll do that, and I'll watch it on my plane flight.
Having actually played/watched it now, I would have to agree with John on this one.
Alright, I'll find it. I'll download it off of YouTube, and I will watch it on my plane flight.
Because the thing is, it goes in too many different places. Like, it's so confusing. Just watch it somewhere.
Yeah, I actually did find a guy that he did 2 movie versions of it. He did one in the order that the game shows you, and then one in chronological order.
I've been watching the chronological one, and it makes much more sense.
So I was thinking of doing both and watching it the game way first, and then watching in the chronological one, so it makes sense.
Yeah, the way the game does it, it makes no dang sense. It's just, oh, now we're here. Oh, now we're there. Oh, now we're here. It's like this weird stream of conscious thing that's just bizarre.
I think Sony, Sony announced some cool stuff, but Sony was just overshadowed so much this year. Microsoft didn't spend a single second not talking about games. Sony took 20 minutes out to talk numbers. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to do this. Old Microsoft did that, and we kicked that son of a bitch out for talking numbers. They gotta kick you out too.
They had to talk numbers, and they had to talk about the new TV show coming exclusively to Sony Entertainment Network.
Yeah, even Microsoft did not talk about any of their TV shows. Like, Quantum Break was not mentioned once during all of E3, which is actually leading a lot of people to think that Quantum Break doesn't even exist anymore. But the developer has assured everyone that it still does.
They did mention the Halo TV show that's going to be part of the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, but that's the only reason why it was mentioned, because the entire thing is going to be included with the Master Chief Collection. To just say, you're getting even more for your money. And oh yeah, that's right, the Master Chief Collection also includes the entire live-action Halo series that bridges the gap between Halo 4 and 5, and the Halo 5 beta coming this December. I don't think there is a better deal for $60 in gaming right now than the Master Chief Collection. 4 complete games, 4 complete multiplayers, plus Halo 5 beta, plus the series. I don't think there's anything else you could get with that much of a value for $60.
Metal Gear Solid Collection.
Well, you might get more hours worth of it.
I'll give you that, because those games are a lot longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, for just...
And there's more games, period.
Yeah. I give it that one. I give it that one.
Metal Gear Solid 4 alone probably is longer than all of the Halo games combined.
Metal Gear Solid 4 has cutscenes longer than all the Halo games combined. That you can't pause with. So good luck if you have to go to the bathroom.
Bro,
That's why Metal Gear Solid should come out for the Wii U. That way you can just transfer it to the gamepad when you have to go to the bathroom.
The teaser trailer for Metal Gear Solid 5 for Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain was longer than the entire Halo series.
Like somebody posted at VGHC that you could play Mario Kart 8 on the gamepad. Just on the gamepad, and he said he was doing it in the bathroom, and it's like, I now have a reason to buy a Wii U.
What, you didn't think
of Pokemon? I can now play Mario Kart in the bathroom. Unfortunately, I think with Mario Kart you still need 2 hands. That's the advantage of Pokemon. L equals A, one-handed gameplay.
See
The
that's
thing
the one reason why I have an interest in getting a Wii U is because I can take the gamepad into my room and play the games in my room, so I don't have to take up the TV.
Yeah, I do think that is cool that you can do that in Mario Kart, because I actually kind of have enjoyed playing Mario Kart more on my DS, so the fact that I can play it portably, kind of similar to the DS is kind of interesting. So speaking of Nintendo, I guess we'll go ahead and move on to Nintendo.
Well, hold
The
on.
majority of Nintendo stuff was 2015. They have the open world Zelda, which they didn't really show that much of, but it looks interesting. You get the Zelda Hyrule Warriors that looks very cool. There's
What
some stupid code game that I don't know why it exists.
what game?
There was like Toad's Treasure Island or some crap like that.
No, it's Captain Toad's Treasure Tractor.
I don't care.
Toad now has his own game. There's no reason for it to exist.
Put it this way: when that went on, I was about to turn the conference off. Like, no, you don't make a game starring Toad. There already is one. It's called Mario Party, where we beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
What was there? There was a new Kirby game. There was a Kirby game that was announced to look really cool.
It's the Kirby Rainbow Curse, which is the sequel to Kirby Canvas Curse, which was an awesome game on the DS, and I wish they would bring this to the 3DS because it makes sense. Also, I can't imagine holding the Wii U gamepad and using the stylus the whole time, because the Wii U gamepad that doesn't seem conducive. I'd rather do that.
That would get a little heavy after a while.
The game looks amazing, but I'm not sure I'd want to play it on the Wii U.
Oh, we'll find out. The biggest announcement from Nintendo, it was a lot of stuff with Smash. I guess the Zelda, so everything is very cool. It's a very cool thing. A lot of stuff they showed off, but the Smash was some of the stuff with Smash was very interesting. You can now create your own fighter with Ami and customize all their moves, which is very cool. And supposedly, according to one thing I read, you can even customize the normal fighters as well, but not 100% sure how true that is.
Every character has variants of their moves. Like, for example, if you bust out Mario's cape, you have also like a shock cape or a ice cape, or there's no actual ice cape, but you have different variants of each, basically like smash attack and move you can do.
Interesting.
Which I think are those tied to the little Skylander amiibo things?
I'm still not sure how those things completely work.
Because the way I understood it is that you basically create a Smash Drivatar, which is tied to this little Skylander.
Yeah, the amiibo thing with Smash is kind of strange. Like, let's say me and Victor are playing. Victor goes and kills me in Smash. I toss my Pikachu amiibo on the Wii U gamepad, and now Pikachu spawns into the game as an NPC and will attack Victor until I respawn, and then will basically just act as another player attacking Victor, attacking me, just basically as a computer player. And evidently they can level up, they can learn, and all the data can be sent back to the amiibo. They didn't go into a lot of detail with it. Honestly, they seem like a really, really dumb gimmick and a way for Nintendo to capitalize on Skylanders and Disney Infinity, which Disney Infinity and Skylanders are already best on the Wii U, and everybody plays them on the Wii U, so I don't really know why they want to get into this.
Also, the amiibo figures look incredibly fragile.
Yeah, they do.
In the process of talking about this, I actually figured out why it would be great. Provided this is anywhere near as competitive as Melee was, because Brawl didn't quite get there. That's why Project M exists. But if this gets remotely competitive, this would be great so the top players can have their NPCs as characters, so if somebody wants to study their moves or try to play against them without actually having to play against them, there is a use for this. And supposedly, there'll only be so many at launch, but over time they do plan to release amiibos for every single character.
I mean, they're interesting right now, but I'm really curious to see just if there's really going to be any point to them.
Well, it sounds like the whole amiibo thing is, it almost feels kind of like a side project because it can be compatible with a whole bunch of different games. But it sounds kind of like a tertiary thing, which is probably smart because if you start making Smash or Mario Kart or Mario Party, all these games, and you have to use the amiibos, a lot of your hardcore Nintendo fans might get a little upset.
I don't think that they would ever force you to use it just because it would piss off a lot of people that don't want anything to do with that.
That's what I think right now. It's basically kind of a side where here's some extra cool stuff if you want to buy these little stupid figurines that will snap if you step on them.
Yeah, and basically, start it off and then they just do it very basic for right now. They do it very basic for right now, and then, just kind of see how it, works out in that. But there was one thing they announced, and I don't know if this was with an amiibo or if it just worked through some other method. I don't think it used amiibo because I don't know how you would hook up amiibo to the 3DS, but you can transfer your character and I guess your player stats from Smash Bros. On the 3DS to the Wii U.
I believe that does work without the amiibos, but the 3DS is getting an amiibo receiver that I think translates to like the IR. I'm guessing
going back to receivers. What is this, the GBA?
Yeah, the 3DS has the IR transmitter. That's how the XL dual analog stick works.
Yes, but there's no thing coming. I hope it's not something that comes out of it, because then I'm totally going to harp on them for that. Because we're going back to the DS in that case, not the DS, the Game Boy Advance with the wireless adapter they used to have.
No, the amiibo adapter for the 3DS is just this small, round little pad that you set down, and you put the amiibo on that, and then it transmits to the 3DS.
Okay, so it's going to
work. Custom characters can be transferred between the 3DS and Wii U versions. When asked how that process would work, Sakurai told Joystick that we'd have to wait for the Wii U release to find out.
Oh, okay. See, before they were...
I don't know exactly how it works yet.
Yeah, see, before they announced that, when they were talking about that before, amiibos weren't a thing yet. So...
But it does have the 3DS does have, I think, the infrared port, and I'm pretty sure the Wii U gamepad does too. So hopefully it just uses that.
Yeah.
Smash is such a big game that
just
Sakurai can sit there. Sakurai can basically sit there and release a ton of info, and then if asked about something in particular, it's like, oh well, you know what? You found out all this bunch of stuff, but there's still a whole bunch of other stuff I have in mind, and you're not going to find out until such and such a day. You can stretch it out so much. I mean, Smash, there's been so much coming out for Smash with the release of the new characters, bit by bit. These
Pac-Man.
are Pac-Man, which, of course, ever since
Pac-Man is awesome. I want to play as Pac-Man.
All the pictures that exist now, it's like, oh, it's our childhood dream. You got Mega Man, Sonic, Mario, and Pac-Man all on the same stage.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Pretty badass, not gonna lie. I mean,
and they all have their classic looks and not their new, modern, crappy redesigns.
Yeah, I mean, I never liked that Pac-Man look, but I suppose it's the only way you can go with it, because then otherwise it's just the regular.
Yeah, that's basic. I think that Pac-Man was from Pac-Man World. I want to say
that goes as far back to, I think, the Super Nintendo version. I never actually played it, but he did.
Yeah, the New Adventures of Pac-Man. I think you're right. I think that is, or at least very, very similar to that.
Yeah, because that's
one way or another, you got to add legs, you got to add arms to them, so it makes sense with the game. So.
Well, that's not necessarily true, because Yoshi now makes sense in that.
I didn't think about that. You did have Yoshi. Though Pac-Man, I mean, the alternative is to just literally have him just be a ball.
To
Yeah.
be fair, Pac-Man has had legs and arms since the very beginning, just not in game.
That's true, I think.
The
But am I the only one who wants just the Pac-Man soundtrack every time you play as him? I just want to hear that sound. Like, anybody picks Pac-Man, and you automatically just hear that sound anytime Pac-Man moves. That's what I want.
Oh, that would be awesome if that's the sound he made when he was walking.
That needs to happen.
Oh my God! I just realized something, and I don't know if they showed it anywhere, but if Pac-Man's final smash is not everyone turning into blue ghosts and you can eat them and kill them in one hit, then it's garbage.
See, I don't know what Pac-Man's final smash is yet. I've seen images that may or may not be photoshopped.
Look, that has to be his final smash. Anything else is unacceptable.
Oh, I think it's pretty much guaranteed that his final smash is going to involve somehow him turning into classic Pac-Man and chomping everyone. It's just a matter of...
What else becomes blue ghosts and you eat them. That's it. There's nothing else acceptable for the final smash.
The one picture I have seen is like him turning into a giant 8-bit Pac-Man. I don't know if that's real or not.
Probably not, but that's fine. It just has to be done like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes work to try and, like, make it one of the original stages and do it like that. No, I'm not even asking for that. Just wherever they are on the map, everything just freezes. It becomes a different shade for a certain amount of time. You know, maybe throw in some power pills in there. Some multiple sounds, and you chomp on everybody else that become blue ghosts. And that's the final smash. It lasts for a certain amount of time. That's it. That's what it has to be. I won't accept anything else.
All we need is this every time he moves.
Well, yes, that would be part of the final smash. Because it's going over.
See, that has to be the sound when he walks, because they're doing the classic sound, I think, with Mega Man, where when Mega Man is running, it makes his little beep, 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 beep sound when he's running.
Absolutely.
So, you need to have the same. You need to have the death sound effect too.
Well, that might actually happen, because what I noticed that's really cool that they've brought back, which I don't remember if this was in Brawl, but remember in the original Smash Brothers when the characters would come onto the stage, they would all come out a unique way. Mario would come out of a pipe, Star Fox would fly in an R-Wing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
They removed that in Melee. I don't remember if they removed it in Brawl, but in the new Smash, the characters are all coming in their classic ways, where Donkey Kong busts out of a barrel, Mario comes out of a pipe, etc. So
I don't think that's been there since the original, so that's great.
Yeah, that's why I was really disappointed in Melee when all the characters, they just came in on their little floaty pads, just and spawned.
Yeah, I remember that. That'd be really cool if they do that for him. They actually do like the entrance sound and everything.
They have to. They got Namco Bandai working on it too, so they have to do that.
I'm just really excited about Pac-Man being there. I think that's so cool.
I'm going to be getting the 3DS Smash on day one, so...
I'm tempted to get it too. I can't really afford it right now, but I'm tempted to get it.
I have them both pre-ordered.
Yeah,
well,
I still don't know when I'm going to get a Wii U, but I'm definitely getting the 3DS version, and I also found out, which is really cool, is that whole bold line cell shading look that the 3DS was sporting. You can turn that on and off if you want. You can customize the thickness of that line around all the characters.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can make them either look really cell shaded, cartoony, or you can make them just look normal Smash.
That is cool.
Yeah. Plus, the 3DS has the exclusive Smash Run mode, which is sort of an adventure-ish style single player, I think.
That's interesting. See, I was thinking again the 3DS version because I was thinking maybe if I play against the computer, maybe I'll actually have a chance to learn how to play. Because when I play with my douchebag friends, they just all gang up on me.
Your douchebag friends, as you put it, I attempted to teach you quite some time back, but part of the problem is, one, you didn't really feel like learning at that point in time, and two, part of our douchebag friends, again quoted, is Jeremy, who just likes to get right into the action and probably isn't going to give you a chance to learn. And then you got Dan, who's just kind of screwing around because he doesn't know anything.
Is there a snake like rocket launcher, rocket launcher, rocket launcher?
Right. Just throwing Nikita missiles at everyone. So that
kicks me off the map.
Chance to learn.
And it doesn't help that if literally all you have to do to kill me is just knock me off the map because it is impossible for me to fly back onto it. I don't know why, but I just can't fly back onto the map. I suck.
Even with Kirby?
I think Kirby's the only one I can do it with. But the thing is, with Kirby, all I do is I just suck somebody in and try and pop them out outside the map to get them to fall down.
And most of the time when he does this, he tries to do it and he dies. And the other person still lives.
Yeah, I did that to Victor. I tried to kill myself and take him with me, and somehow he got out and he survived. Not fair. I like my suicide pact death.
That's the best thing to do with Kirby. You just, they have the life advantage.
You can do it with Kirby and with Donkey Kong.
You can do it with Bowser, too, if you're good enough. He's got the grab in Brawl. You get right next to him, you grab him near the edge, he flips over, tosses you off.
Oh, yeah.
But unlike Kirby, Kirby, if you're slick, you can do it and kill the person and still survive. With Bowser, you commit to that move. So
Yeah.
it will kill you with
Destiny
them.
Bond.
Pretty much.
All right, so
Nintendo, they actually...
EA.
So we talked a little bit about EA. Do we want to talk about Nintendo's actual new IPs, like Splatoon and Project Steam?
Well, I want to say this about Nintendo and actually going back into Sony since I really didn't get to say it. But a lot of people in VGHC were kind of like, oh, Nintendo won E3. There's two sides to that. I can't quite give it to them. The reason being, I respect the fact that Microsoft actually basically pulled their heads out of their asses and made one hell of a show. And based on the fact of that alone, that's why I have to give Microsoft the edge. But otherwise, Nintendo delivered on everything that people wanted and then some.
The problem with Nintendo is that they delayed everything to 2015.
Yeah, that was
Right,
one comment I made where I said Nintendo won E3 2015.
Right. And then Sony was just kind of like, it started off so well with you can tell they put their chips on Destiny. You had the alpha that they announced, but since then it was just everything that everybody expected from Sony. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it didn't really make for a unique show, and of course the mic stuff sucked.
Also, the pacing on Sony's show was really weird.
It was just boring. I mean, it didn't put me to sleep like EA/Ubisoft did, but it was bad.
I think about the only thing I liked in Ubisoft was Far Cry 4 and Assassin's Creed Unity. Those are about the only two things that actually looked kind of, especially once I found out more about Assassin's Creed Unity. with the new traversal system that they're overhauling again. That'll hopefully be better this time. And the dynamic missions that you can basically complete a mission any way you want. It's not just a succeed fail state where you never have to do a tailing mission if you don't want to.
The fact that they're making improvements to that is great, because those are terrible in each game.
Yeah, it's as long as they keep true with all of the missions, it sounds like if you don't want to do a tailing mission, you can just run up, stab the guy, and get whatever information you need off him and go along your merry way.
That's much better. I prefer this.
That's what they claim. So as long as it applies to every mission and not just a handful select missions.
I mean, then we'll just be further away from stealth again, but I'm okay with this.
At this point, Assassin's Creed has no pretensions of stealth.
So then why not screw it up and do this? I'm perfectly okay with this.
Yeah, especially once you add 4-player co-op into it, there is going to be no stealth happening in Assassin's Creed Unity. Just plain and simple.
I don't know about this co-op thing.
Well, the co-op thing is restricted to like certain missions. It's not the main storyline. I think is still single player, but there will be certain missions or certain contracts that are 4-player co-op. And at which point, everyone is Arno, yet no one is Arno, kind of thing. Where it's kind of like Watch Dogs, where each person on their end, they're the main protagonist, but everyone else is a person. So it's weird.
Spec Ops for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but apparently it's not. They're not going to like change the missions based on the 4-player co-op. It's basically you just become more overpowered for the missions. So you're not like forced into it or something. Did they say they're trying to design the missions or whatever so that you aren't forced to play co-op, but it's also very beneficial to play co-op and actually work together rather than trying to troll each other. But it still sounds like it could very well be a real mess. So I'm just probably going to stick to the
That's
single.
what it sounds like.
Yeah,
how about the mess Ubisoft got themselves into with the whole no female thing?
That they should have kept their trap shut.
Yeah. That's the simplest way around that. They should have kept their mouth shut.
When you say that for both Assassin's Creed and Far Cry that we wanted to have female protagonists and female characters that you can customize, and we wanted to have them there, but it was just too much work. We didn't have time or money. Well, okay then. That kind of sounds a little misogynistic there. Especially after they created female playable characters in previous Assassin's Creed games. It's even more suspect. But
yeah.
I think
people weren't necessarily upset because they didn't do it. They were upset over the bullshit excuse.
yes.
Yeah,
it would take too long. It's 8,000 animations we have to replace. Like, shut up. And it would be one thing if it was just fans complaining, just gamers complaining, but it wasn't. It was people in the industry who were coming out and saying that that's full of shit because they knew that they were full of shit.
Like,
just say, you can say you didn't have the time or money, but don't say it was too hard, because it's not that hard. You don't have to do that shit.
Plus, they have like 10 different studios all working on one game, so I mean, really, don't tell me you don't have the time.
It was bullshit.
Hopefully, all the controversy made a few executives higher up the ladder sweat a little bit, so maybe next time they'll actually let their developers do what they want and have a more diverse cast of playable characters.
Here'd be a crazy concept. The next game which will be annual because that's what they do now. The next main series game will actually feature a female protagonist.
Watch Dogs 2 starring Clara. Whatever.
Spoilers.
Oh, did she die at the end or something?
Spoilers. But no, I think that they should. I think that a female protagonist is overdue in Assassin's Creed, and they actually did one. I think in the PSP version or something. And
What was that? That was Liberation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Liberation.
And the thing is, you don't even really need to change the animations. You know, like the walk. All of the Assassin's Creed characters, especially the assassins, have such a unique walk to them that walk can be either male or female. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to add boob physics or anything like that. You can use all the same animations.
Well, that's the one Assassin's
Not
Creed
that hard.
animator and several other animators were saying that no, you just replace a couple of keyframes, and a couple days worth of work and you're golden.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And there's tons of games where male and female characters use the exact same animations and nobody gives a shit.
no, because
Just what it is. Actually, I'll toss Mass Effect 3 out as an example. Or the entire Mass Effect series, male and female Shepard use all of the exact same animations for the entire game. As far as I know, there's not a single different animation between them. The walk looks the same, everything looks the same. All that's different is the voice acting.
yeah,
Never heard anybody complain.
actually, a lot of people complained that the female voice acting was better than the male voice acting.
And I am one that will say I am one that actually agrees with that. The FemShep puts male Shep to shame. If you actually, especially in Mass Effect 2 and 3. It also, one of the things that also makes playing FemShep better is because basically as male Shepard, you end up having basically Liara as your only choice to pick it by the end of the third game. So.
Oh, Liara.
Yeah. See, FemShep is Jennifer Hale.
Yes. She does a very good job.
Done one hell of a good job on Mass Effect. And she's done a lot of other stuff too. Mass Effect, I think, is the only big one. Oh, evidently she was Rosalind Lattès in Bioshock Infinite. I did not know that. You always find out something new.
Huh. I guess I can see that if you take away the British accent.
Trying to, the other voice act, yeah, Laura Bailey is the other voice actress that I really, really like.
What
And she was Saints Row 3 and 4 female voice number 1, the primary female voice. I really liked her. She also voiced Black Widow in Lego Marvel Superheroes. Evidently, she voiced the female Demon Hunter in Diablo 3. I'm trying to think, there's something else pretty big that she was in. Another big game, though. Intro 4, Lost Planet 3. Evidently, she was Lady Comstock. I did not know that.
What are we talking about?
Jennifer Hale, voice actress from Saints Row that I really like. But I want to say there was something else that she was really big in. I can't remember what it was. Old Republic. Oh, there it was. She voiced Serana in Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. I knew it was something. I just had to go down far enough. Yeah, she voiced Serana. Plus a bunch of other stuff she's voiced. But Saints Row, I think, was her first, was one of her biggest. Anyway, so let's see. What do we get from EA? We talked about Star Wars. Star Wars looked very impressive for being alpha. The fact that they went to the Lucasfilm archives and they went and got the scans of the original models. They went to the filming locations. That's awesome. I really do think that Battlefront is going to be the Star Wars game we have been waiting for all of our lives. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be the lightsaber combat game we've been waiting for all of our lives, but I think as far as the battles go, I think that's going to be perfect.
Yeah, I can't.
I saw them looking at the Death Star too, so it's like, I demand Battle of Endor in space. That is all. I have been wanting to play that battle in a game since I saw Return of the Jedi when I was a young kid, and I've never been able to do that. No game has ever done it, and I am hoping this one does it. If that was the only map the game shipped with, I'd be like, sold. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. Just let me fly into the Death Star as the Millennium Falcon and blow it up.
Actually, couldn't you do that in Super Star Wars on the Super
Yeah,
Nintendo?
I mean there were a couple ones that you could do it, but never to the level of like the movie.
Yeah.
The closest you got to that was like I think Rogue Squadron 2 for the GameCube had it had the Death Star. You could do the Death Star trench run, and that was really fun. And I think it actually had the Battle of Endor. I'm not sure. You understand me? Carolyn has a GameCube. I should go buy that game. Somebody find me Rogue Squadron 2.
It's probably $60. EA also announced a new PGA Tour game where you can play golf in the middle of Battlefield for whatever reason.
Why the hell not?
Next, they're going to be playing golf in Mass Effect and on the Citadel and Dragon Age.
I think that's awesome because you get the game, you get your golf game and everything, but now you get something extra fun to do in your golf game. You get to go golfing on Battlefield 4 maps.
What would be really
awesome.
fun?
It kind of makes me want to buy it because I really enjoy the golf in GTA 5. So
What would be really good is if they would let you play golf on an active Battlefield map. That people are actually.
that would be awesome. Like nobody can shoot you or anything. And like nobody can shoot you or anything. Nobody like really clips. Nobody like really interacts with the ball. But you see everybody flying around, and they can see you. That would be awesome.
You're sitting there trying to putt, trying to get the ball on the green, and there's stuff blowing up all around you. People running back and forth, teabagging each other, and that would be the craziest, most hectic game of golf ever.
That would be epic. That would be so incredibly epic.
Especially if your ball randomly exploded, and it could actually affect the Battlefield players.
I think, yeah, like that would be the only thing that happened. If your ball hits someone, then it kills them.
Well, no, it would have to be random. It would just have to be. It would randomly, when it hit someone, it would just blow up.
I think the best thing that could happen would be you hit the ball, you hit with your driver, you get it really, really high in the air. Jet comes flying by, ball goes right through the glass of the jet, right into the pilot's skull, kills it. And all of a sudden you just see this jet crash and blow up a tank or something. I think that would be hilarious. Oh man, I want that to happen now.
It probably never will.
Yeah.
We do get
Wait a second, there was a Rogue Squadron 3? What?
On what?
I, for the GameCube. Star
No.
Wars Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3. Did not know that. All right, so let's see. We got a little look at Mirror's Edge. Didn't really get to see much. Mirror's Edge still very early development.
Basically, all the early development footage they showed could have been taken from Mirror's Edge 1. So,
Yeah, just upscaled to 1080. Yeah,
so
it wasn't really there, but you know, take your time, get it perfect. They did confirm that this game is a prequel slash reboot because it takes place before the original game and shows you how Faith, you know, basically became what she was in the first game. And they did say that they are really working on the combat to make the combat much more fluid and much more effective. And one thing that one person said outside of the video was that their goal for the game is to allow you to play the entire game without ever picking up a weapon if you don't want to. And but that's if you're good enough. If you're not good enough, you will be able to pick up the weapons and fight people that way, and it'll be actually enjoyable versus how it was in the first game, where it's like, I'm gonna try and hit something.
I was gonna say, making it actually fun would be a good start.
Look at my gun. I'm going to hit something. Yay! That's basically kind of what Mirror's Edge was when you got a weapon.
yeah, the combat in first Mirror's Edge was not great, to put it lightly.
And then the other thing they said is that, you know, depending on your skill in the game, you know, like if you're really good, you'll be able to pull off, you know, certain things and get to places quicker than, you know, someone who's not as good as the game. And I think that's good. I think that's the way that it, you know, it should be. Because, you know, it's based off of parkour. And, you know, one complaint that a lot of people have first game is that you were required to do really complicated things that just not everybody could figure out how to do, or just not everybody could do.
Yeah,
So now with this one, if you can't do the really complicated way of going it, you'll have to go around. You might have to you might have to sneak around some more guards or something instead of it because you're not taking the quickest path, but you'll be able to progress in the game.
yeah, the first Mirror's Edge, even in the tutorial for Mirror's Edge 1, there's some pretty complicated, like one of them you have to run up a wall, turn around, jump, and grab onto a ledge. That's like 3 or 4 button presses you have to time perfectly in order to do that, and that's just in the tutorial.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be great if they can sort of streamline some of that and have like the elite route, the noob route.
Yeah, I'm definitely still excited for it.
Now I just need to actually finish the first Mirror's Edge game.
Yeah, me too.
I got stuck like halfway through on the Xbox before giving up on it, and now I have it on PC.
I should go download it on PC this week. I bought it, I think, last year and I never actually played it on the PC version. All right, moving on though. I think there was. They announced a MOBA thing, which
Dawngate.
actually has a storyline, and I don't know. It seems kind of interesting. I don't care about MOBAs.
No, it's not a MOBA. It's a MUBA.
MOBA.
It's a multi-user battle arena. That's what the guy said. He said MOBA stands for multi-user battle arena.
Online battle arena. Multi-user online battle arena.
He didn't say online. He just said multi-user battle arena. So apparently it's a MUBA.
Yeah, it doesn't make any damn sense. But I mean, I can't speak much for it either. But one thing that is good is, of course, the guy is sitting there and he's taking input from people that play, say, like League of Legends and what's the other one that Blizzard put out?
Dota.
I actually forgot about that. I wasn't even talking about Dota. I'm talking about the new one that they came out with.
Oh, the Heroes of the Storm?
I think that's what it's called. The one that's just Blizzard characters, basically the same thing. But anyway,
I think
people
it's
that are playing these games, they're taking direct input from them, someone like the top players, to try to make something more interesting or that stands out. We'll see. It's still early in development.
So then we had Battlefield Hardline.
yeah, which is Battlefield Cops and Robbers.
And the coolest thing about that was that they announced that the beta was starting that day. And we have one person here that got their code that day, and then it took me about 5 days to get my code. I actually downloaded it yesterday. I went and turned it on while Carolyn was actually here. I spawned on top of a building, very confused about what was going on. And I turned around and saw a helicopter, and I was like, oh, all right, let me get in the helicopter. Well, here's the thing. It's been a long time since I've played Battlefield on the PC. And I haven't played Battlefield on the PC since Bad Company. So the controls have changed a little bit, and I didn't really know how to fly a helicopter. So this is kind of what happened. We took off, we started tilting, I'm pressing every button on my keyboard, screaming, I'm just screaming, no, go up, no, go up, no, I don't know how to fly, I don't know how to fly, I don't know how to fly. You killed your squad mate, you are dead.
See, when I spawned on there, I spawned on top of a motorcycle, and I started driving around, driving up walls and driving down stairs, and eventually I was trying to figure out how to fire my gun, but apparently that requires stopping. So then I stood there firing my gun until I got shot in the head by someone else.
The best thing was Carol's sitting here watching this, and she's laughing so hard that she actually was in physical pain from still recovering from her surgery because she was laughing so hard of me doing this. and then what made it even better is as soon as I died, I was like, damn it, where's my 360 controller? I can't play this with a keyboard.
My girlfriend was in excruciating pain. That's so funny.
And Carol was laughing at her. She's like, what do you mean you need the controller? Use the keyboard. Be a man. I was like, I don't know how it works. I died. I blew up the helicopter. So I go and get the 360 controller connected, and I respawn I respawn in the same place. The 360 controller doesn't work with the beta. And somebody snipes me and kills me again. So then I'm like, okay, let me use the keyboard mouse. So I spawn again, and now I'm on the ground. So I go grab into a car, and I'm driving, and next thing I know, somebody rocket launches me, and I blow up. In my first 2 matches, I got 1 kill and 20 deaths. And I don't think I really did anything. It was very embarrassing. And the game played terribly on my computer, too. I mean, I'm just assuming that it's, because of my, God forbid I only have a 6-core processor. But I didn't play with the settings much, and I haven't gotten a chance to play around with it much. I'm hoping to get some more time on it next weekend. But at least from the videos that we saw, it looks fun. The campaign looks really cool. So if anything, I don't know necessarily how much I'll enjoy it for the multiplayer, but the campaign looks really fun. So I'm trying to think. Ubisoft I basically skipped over because there was nothing good in it.
Just Dance.
Look, What's-Her-Face was great and made the show and made things very interesting.
Yeah.
I said all right. Because even if I knew her name, I wouldn't even want to say it because it's just that bad.
So we're at about 2 hours.
We still haven't talked about Splatoon or Yoshi's Woolly World or...
Yeah, we actually skipped over a lot of stuff, so I mean...
There was a lot of games.
Yeah, I mean, I say it was just too hard to fit everything into 2 hours. Splatoon looks like a lot of fun. If it was coming out for 360, I'd probably definitely buy it. with it coming out for the Wii U, I don't know. It would depend on how many other people had it.
Getting closer to that 2 hours, I think we should all go around and point out highlights from each conference. Because honestly, I feel like what I wanted out of this E3 we got. There's now a reason to buy each console, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
I'd agree.
But again, going all around, reasons, your highlights of the conference or what would make you buy the system, etc.
I would say the biggest reason to buy most of these consoles isn't coming until 2015.
All right. Well, sir, I say for me, the Xbox would be Master Chief Collection and GTA 5. I'll also add on to that Sunset Overdrive and Forza Horizon 2. I want all 4 of those. I want them all this year. I probably will only get GTA 5 because that'll fill up the majority of my time. But I definitely will pick up the other ones at some point, and I'm definitely going to get an Xbox this year. That's just definitely happening. For the Wii U, there's Mario Kart 8 already, Smash. I've never been very good at Smash, but it's something that I consider. The open world Zelda game. I've never been a fan of Zelda, but open world might be enough to make me give it a shot. With the Wii, would I drop $350 on it? No, but drop it down to $250 by this time next year, and I'll go pick it up. PS3. Well, I was interested in the order. Not so interested in the order anymore. The Infamous DLC seems interesting. I've always just kind of been interested in those games. Let's see. You got another Uncharted, which I've always wanted to play that series. Biggest one in PS4 for me is No Man's Sky, but it's probably going to be coming to the PC too. So I don't know. I was all set to get a PS4, and now thanks to Microsoft, I'm all set to get an Xbox One.
At this point, since I have a PC and I still haven't finished playing a lot of my PS3 games, I would be more inclined to get a Wii U at this point, just to get some of the games coming in 2015, namely Zelda and Hyrule Warriors. And if they would release a frickin' Metroid game.
It's coming.
Speaking of Metroid, Victor, did you buy that shirt?
Yes and no. As in, I didn't buy it. Joshua bought it for me. So thank you once again, and I will say this on air.
I had to buy it, and I had to buy a Victor one, so that's too good a shirt to pass up.
It was a good shirt. So I guess that's basically everything. It's actually not everything, but we just don't have time to talk about much more.
You have this bad habit of skipping me.
I do. Go ahead. I'm tired, dude. I'm so exhausted.
Which is funny, thinking about it all. But, PS4, I don't know. The Last of Us remastered already, I will get the game again. It runs at better frame rate. It already looked great. That's going to do it for me. That being said, I already have a PS4. But that's the perfect entry point, just like with Tomb Raider. If you didn't have it before, you get the definitive edition, or better yet, get the PC version. But perfect entry point. You got Uncharted, which by the title, it seems like it's going to be the last one that features Nathan Drake, so I'm curious to see where the series goes at all after that. You have Destiny, even though it's not exclusive. I feel like Sony's putting their chips on that, so why not get it for the PS4?
Oh yeah, I think it's probably gonna look better and run better on the PS4.
I'm gonna think so, but then you have a possible PC version, so we'll see what happens there. First Light, I'm all for something that has what's her name, Fetch?
Fetch, yes.
Yeah, I'm all for something that features her. She was a cool character. at times more interesting than Delson, so that's definitely a nice incentive for that. For the Xbox One, you have more content for Killer Instinct, which, as I was saying to Josh earlier, I didn't even realize that they had done it for that. But Killer Instinct's one of the few things that I would actually, want an Xbox One for, if for no other reason, just to kind of try it out. And I kind of started going into Halo, but I didn't really finish it, mostly because I tortured myself with Legendary. But if I got an Xbox One, the Master Chief Collection is just too good to pass up to go ahead and get into the series.
If I had the extra money, I would be super tempted to get an Xbox One just to get the Master Chief Collection and actually play the Halo games.
And that would really be it for that, because I can't say that Sunset Overdrive really attracts me all that much. And then with the Wii U, that's just that much more of a reason to have one at this point.
Well, you'd have to get GTA and try that out at least. But yeah, that'd be about the extent of your Xbox One.
But then there's the Wii U, which Bayonetta 2 just got sweeter because they decided to toss the original one in there.
That was a smart move.
So that made people
it's been long enough that they kind of have to include it for new people to play the game. I think.
If I was
I would have preferred version of the first game. I'm okay with that, I guess. And you got the Nintendo exclusive things, which are kind of weird, but they're there, so whatever. I still don't know how I feel about open world Zelda. I think people are hyping it up to be more than what it is, but I don't know. It could be good.
After having Skyward Sword hyped up so much, I am very skeptical about this new Zelda.
I'm just thinking of all the things that could possibly go wrong with it, but at the same time, it's Zelda. I don't see them really messing that up all that bad. The one that I'm really surprised that
except it's Nintendo, so you can't assume they're gonna mess it up that bad.
Well, I expect them to mess up Hyrule Warriors because the thing with that is that it's Zelda themed, but it's still Dynasty Warriors. We still know a friend from back in high school who got every single one of those games. And I know because of him that they don't do much of anything in each of those games. They don't. It might as well be Madden. That's how much the changes matter in those games.
The Hyrule Warriors sounds really interesting. I'm just worried of how it runs because I've heard a few people saying that it kind of runs below 30 frames per second, which would be really bad.
Yeah, 30 frames is fine. Below is not that great.
There's a game called Heavenly Sword. They need to take notes.
Yeah,
Because that's how much on screen and no lag. They need to take notes.
Plus, wasn't that
of course, there's Smash. I mean, you really can't say enough about Smash. And then, of course, there's Yoshi's Woolly World, which they should have left it at Yoshi Yarn, if that's even what it was called.
It was originally called Yarn Yoshi, I think,
Yarn Yoshi.
which makes more sense than Woolly World.
I don't like this name change. It sounds retarded.
Woolly World sounds like Wally World. I want to say Wally World every time I say Yoshi.
Death to Yarn!
And then, of course, for the people looking for an RPG to occupy themselves with, we have a new Xenoblade Chronicles, which...
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yes.
Which I'm guessing is not...
Yeah, there is something we forgot to talk about. Square Enix is releasing the biking minigame from Final Fantasy VII.
David, shut the fuck up!
Meat Palm.
Which made every single gamer in the world just scream, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
That I don't even. There is no response to that.
I was hoping when that was posted it would not be exactly what I thought it was, and lo and behold, it's exactly what I thought it was. So, of course, what we're going to do is toss out each of these individual games from the Gold Saucer theme park instead of
Oh,
making.
I don't know if you read it, but they did basically flat out say that they would do that if this game sells well.
Well, god damn it. So there you go. They're going to come out with all those.
So Chocobo Racing is next.
Please,
gonna make
no
a
one
PS
buy this game.
They're going to release all these. They're going to release a collection for it when they're all out. And they're going to come up with a new trailer for the PS4 for the same opening cinema of the original game, and then still not put out a remake.
That all the more reason to play Tifa's bootleg.
Which I am tempted to try and download if I could figure out how to actually do it. There are many instructions.
If I knew how to do that shit, I would gladly play the game all over again.
It's a little complicated. The best solution is to find the proper instructions that has a link to the torrent file of all of the mods, and then just download the whole frickin' thing, and then just pick and choose which ones you want.
That seems like probably the easiest way, yeah.
It's not exactly a one-click install.
So it's like Skyrim. You install the game, and then you install the 5,000 mods to fix everything Bethesda screwed up.
Yes.
Well, so that's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, God, it's Zelda open world game. It's going to be so buggy and terrible. It's like, no. It's not being made by Bethesda. You're perfectly fine. You don't have to worry about anything. It's not being made by Bethesda, and it's not being made by Ubisoft, so you're good.
That's the master of bugs.
Freaking Watch Dogs. Alright, so I think that's it now that I've pissed Victor off by reminding him of Final Fantasy VII. Oh yeah, and everybody was. I love all the people that thought there was going to be a Kingdom Hearts 3 like release date. It's like, yeah, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Hector, if you're watching, but the fact that you even thought you were going to see something about that. I mean, come on.
Square Enix likes to announce games. They don't actually like to make them. They just announce.
By the time Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, it's going to be the same as Final Fantasy 13 Versus. They're going to have to give it a new name.
Yep.
Because no one's going to remember that it's the third game in a series at that point.
Well, no, they might because they re-released all of the previous Kingdom Hearts games on the PS3.
Alright, so now they're going to re-release all the games on the PS4 and push Kingdom Hearts 3 to the PS5. Then they'll release all the games again for the PS5.
In other words, Kingdom Hearts 3 is Half-Life 3.
Yep, there we go. Hey, speaking of Square Enix, that they've gotten up, I think, all the way to Final Fantasy VI with releasing all the games on Android. And that's something else somebody pointed out. It's like all they have left to do to release on mobile is 7, and they won't do it.
No, they won't. They refuse to touch 7.
So it's like it's like you got all the way up to 6 on mobile. You should release 7. What do you give us? The biking minigame.
No, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna release Final Fantasy 8. They're gonna skip 7.
They will. They will.
Oh God, that would be so perfect. I almost want them to do that now.
I can see them doing just that. Matter of fact, though, before the Steam version came out, I could have sworn they were saying something about like redoing some of the textures and whatnot, and making it more HD. But I think what we got wasn't quite that. Or maybe it is. Shit if I know. But yeah, they'll skip right over 7, absolutely. They'll go and redo all of 9 before they do 7.
Didn't they redo 10 already?
That they did, but that's PlayStation 2. So we did something with 8, or maybe doing something with 8, and 9 they'll completely redo, same generation, but 7, nah, fuck that. We're not doing it.
You know what would be hilarious? They announce, we are finally going to remake Final Fantasy VII. But we're going to start with remaking the original Final Fantasy. And it's going to be 5 years for every game.
And
So
you know what the worst part about it is?
You have to wait 35 years for Final Fantasy VII.
The worst part about it is, you know, you can touch up these games, whatever. If you look at the 3 that are on the PS1, only one of the 3 are blocky. That's FF7. That one needs the treatment.
Final Fantasy VII looks
like
atrocious.
You don't like your characters to look like they came out of Minecraft?
No!
Actually, I would say Minecraft actually has more detail in its characters than Final Fantasy VII.
Minecraft does. Minecraft has better textures on their characters than Final Fantasy VII does.
Oh, God.
Final Fantasy VII has chibi characters.
You know, I kind of want to figure out where the hell the charger is for my PSP and continue my Final Fantasy VII save. That'd give me something to do while I'm on the plane.
Just get it on Steam. You can cheat all you want.
I can't play that. Well, I guess I could play it on my phone, but I couldn't play it on the plane on my phone. All in all, it was a really, really good E3. Best E3 in a while. I'm looking forward to the next year a lot.
As boring as Sony was, they did put out good stuff. And mic problems aside, very good E3. Solid.
I'm looking forward to 2015.
Indeed.
Definitely. Well, I guess that's about it. Nothing else. Good night, everybody. In 2 weeks, Victor will have a better connection. Mine will still suck.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Waka 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 waka.